Is by Joachim Garraud, Trovarsi, Hugo, Franck, Martin. Attend the exclusive MCV movie premiere, 7:30 p.m. Doors, 8 p.m. movie projection, 9 p.m. Q&A, 9:30 p.m. live performances, and enter a chance to take home over $4,000 of music gear by Isotope, Novation, Electron, Track Club at midnight. Saturday, January 14th, MCV night in San Francisco. Tickets via grayarea.org.
Hey.
Woo!
Hello.
Are we live? Let's see if we're
we're
live.
live.
I think we're live.
I think so.
It's 6 p.m. on the dot. I like that.
6 p.m. on the dot. I never
that.
started a live stream that prompt.
As a lot of French people around in the stream live, we have to be on time. Okay.
All right. Let's see if anyone is here. Anyone is here?
Okay. So let's see the chat. What's going on the chat? Okay.
Let's see on the chat. I'm going to tweet that
we're live. Okay.
We're live.
So guys, welcome, and feel free to drop your question right now in the chat. We are all together for 6 hours nonstop.
This is like a marathon.
Until tomorrow.
We have Arnaud Gosset right on. Hey, we have a few people.
Okay.
Arnaud is saying hello. Hello, Arnaud.
Welcome, everybody. Yeah. Okay.
Devini,
Sounds good.
Devini is here. Thumbs up.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, let's get going.
Warm up.
Good evening or good morning, wherever you are around the world. My name is Loic Maestracci. Welcome, everyone, to our first live stream of 2023. And we're starting with a bang this year with an exclusive Q&A with 4 incredible and unique electronic artists and musicians. Welcome to Joachim Garraud, Hugo, Trovarsi, and Franck Martin. You will learn about each one of them in a minute. Folks, how are you? Hello. How's it going?
We're good. We're so happy to be in your show, and especially because this is a long time you didn't make any show. So we are very proud to be such a pioneer and to start this brand new years with you. And it's a pleasure to share the passion of music we have all together on that channel.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
Yes, thanks for having us. This is great. We're pretty pumped for the weekend. We're pumped.
Yeah, no. Thank you for being here. And we're going to talk, because there's a reason why we're here today. You know, guys?
Yes.
They're all joining us to present their Modular California Vibes movie that was filmed last year in the California desert. And it happens that the movie will premiere at the Gray Area Theater in San Francisco this Saturday at 7:30. And in honor of the premiere, we're doing this exclusive Q&A. We'll be able to ask any questions. Not the video I should play. This is where this information. And what's great about this event is you guys, someone wants to talk about what's going to happen on Saturday at the Gray.
Hugo is the one. You can explain the situation. Hugo, your turn.
All right. Yeah, Saturday we're having a show at Gray Area. So we're going to premiere the movie, the Modular California Vibes movie, which we shot in the spring, and we're going to show you previews off today. And then after the premiere of the movie, we're all getting on stage and we're playing musical sets, one after the other. So there's going to be a whole night of movie and then music. And after the last set at midnight, which will be Joachim, there will be a giveaway. And then we have over $4,000 of giveaways that were generously given to us by our sponsors. So music gear, expect like equipment, software, cool stuff. So if you want to spend a night, hanging out with people who are into music, listening to music, watching movies, hanging out, that's the place to go in San Francisco on Saturday night. Gray Area.
Good.
So, some really cool giveaways here. Can I cheat and get one of them? Or
not really?
but you're coming, so it's okay.
Oh, I'm coming, so I might win one. Okay, great. So you guys, we're meeting virtually here for this exclusive Q&A. We're going to ask a bunch of questions about the movie, and you will be able to ask a bunch of questions about the movie. But also, we will be giving away a pair of tickets. Is that true?
Correct.
Yes.
Great. So We'll figure out how we're going to give away, but we'll give away a pair of tickets. And also, you can see the banner below. If you don't win the tickets, Music Expo is giving you 20% off. Well, actually, those wonderful
deal. It's a good deal for the night.
Good deal. So I may have actually, Frank, I may have got you Jean-Marc to come to the concert because I spoke to him 2 days ago. But yeah, if you want to get your own tickets or you want more people to join, make sure you register using Music Expo 20 at checkout. The instructions, we'll leave the instructions below in the ticker so you can register. So I'm going to look at the comments quickly. I see a few people joining us. I see David Young from LA. Hello, David. Thanks for joining. Tyler. Oh my God, look who's here. Hello, Tyler and Patrick watching us. Good to see you. So you guys make sure we encourage all of you to ask questions. I have a few questions for them to answer, but if you have any questions about the movie, the process, whatever you want to ask, drop the questions. We'll flip them on the screen. But I have a question for everybody because I know some of you, I don't know most of you, and it's probably the same with our audience today. And I want to ask, can you tell us, that's a question for everybody, but can you tell us your background and how you got started in electronic music? Who wants to start first?
Trovarsi, she starts.
Oh, okay. Well, I started by playing the piano, doing some vocals, and I grew up in the early 90s going out and listening to electronic music, and I immediately had a love for it then. And I guess I'm kind of giving you the speeded up version of this story, but basically I sang jazz, blues, played the piano, started getting more into house music and that. And I actually sang a couple tracks for people as demo tracks. And then I was like, you know what? I wanted to produce my own music. And then it sort of just took from there, basically. And then, yeah. So it's been a journey, it's been fun. First learning production. Ironically, the more I've gotten into production and adding modular synths, I haven't done a whole lot of singing, but yeah, I really enjoy
it.
Wonderful.
She's great.
Wonderful. Great. Who's next?
Yeah. Hugo.
Haha, I'm on the spot. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So my uncle, I grew up with my uncle around me and my grandparents where I was a lot, and he had tons of synths. And he was writing electronic music. And so being a kid, I wanted to explore those sounds that sounded so magical to me. So my grandma got me a toy keyboard. That's my first instrument. And I actually found it recently, and it's really endearing, the sounds it makes and how, it's a portable keyboard and has a small speaker on it, and it distorts when you play it. It's so cute. Anyway, fast forward, like Trovarsi, I got a guitar when I was 15 and then started getting in bands, and I've been in bands all my life. I've played, regular, like more standard music, but also like hard rock, bluegrass. I grew up listening to Gabber. My neighbors would bootleg me cassette tapes of Gabber music, which is this hard, fast electronic music from Eastern Europe. And eventually I made my way to San Francisco. I worked for a big scientific project in the United States that won the Nobel Prize of Physics. And then I moved to San Francisco, met Loic, and eventually got signed to a record label as a solo artist in San Francisco. And that's when it started really growing for me. So playing more modular, lots of synths, touring solo for the first time. And I ended up in Portland conceiving and developing the 4MS spherical wavetable navigator, which is a Eurorack module. And now I'm back to music full time, and I have a mixing studio as well. And that's it. Yeah. And a beautiful movie to look back at now, an adventure. So yeah, it's my story.
Wait, Gabber? That's like the opposite of what you're doing now. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was such a weird thing because I thought, I heard the music and I was like 7 or 8, and I'm like, finally, there's people in this world that are grown up and they're just as psyched about life as I am. They're just like, yeah. And then one time my friend got the box set of those Gabbard parties, and so there was a VHS, and I put it in, and I thought I would see people on rollerblades in the sunshine, and it's this bare-bone warehouse with dudes with shaved heads and tracksuits just dancing really fast, and I'm like, "What is this?" It made no sense. Yeah.
All right, so my turn. I'm lucky to have a classical music education. I learned to play piano and drum at school when I was 6, and then I'm still producing music since that year. So it's a long time now. Since 35 years, I'm producing music. I have different recording studio. I have this one right now, live in LA. You're gonna see some part of the Solar one, which is the LA Good Vibe, the bus. And I'm still DJing also, and producing band and writing music and composing music, and that I'm so lucky to be able to play music every day and compose and producing different guys. It's sometimes I'm doing pop thing for Bob Sinclair, all the French Dutch area. I was lucky also to produce the first album of David Guetta, so it was pretty successful. So, and then I'm still making music with different people, like Vitalik, more into the electronic music, or Jean-Michel Jarre since 1996, and that's it.
And your new band, Avoriaz.
Yes, I forget. I have a new band, yes, with De Laurentiis, a girl who's producing music, and yes, I'm starting this brand new project, this side project this year. Yes, but I produce so many records, so sometimes I'm forgetting.
I love the name, Avoriaz. I love the name.
Say the name again.
Avoriaz.
Avoriaz.
It starts with the A, finishing with a Z, and is Avoriaz is a very famous skiing station in the Alps in France.
Very cool.
Very cool. Frank, you're next.
All right. So listen to electronic music, Jean-Michel Jarre, Vangelis. I went to do studies in Marseille, and I met some crazy people that were doing experimental music as part of the, I think, Jean-Claude Risset group. And swapping. And so I was part of the Jean-Claude Risset group, and I don't know why I like experimental music, but I didn't do much. I went to Fiji, did kite surfing, and then I came here in San Francisco, and the water is too cold, so I had to find something else. And I watched this documentary, A Dream of Wires, and this is a crazy shop in San Francisco called Robot Speak. So I went there, look at it, and got convinced to buy some equipment. I met Hugo that was still in San Francisco, and I started to get into my journey of making modular music. So I'm more on the crazy side, experimental, and also I like a spatial sound. So I moved my Eurorack to quadraphonic. I listened to Suzanne Ciani, and I heard her in quadraphonic, and you can talk about it, and when you listen to it, then I say that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing now.
And this is true. I Dream of Wires is really an amazing documentary.
Yeah, we're happy to produce this documentary, because this is, for me, that was the first time to be able to have people on board in my recording studio, the Solar recording studio, and then going on the small tour and going across a different adventure and trying to see if the pitch of the movie was can we just try to see if there is a direct impact of the landscape on the music, if there is any variation regarding the landscape or the solar energy, and how this is going to be converted into the music. So that was great for me to go on that trip with Hugo, Franck, and Trovarsi, because we have all together different genres, different styles of music. And that was great to check that on the techno style with Trovarsi, more on the experimental style with Franck, and more on the, let's say, not house, but let's say more melodic with Hugo. And that was great to make that test, and going to 4 different locations, doing 4 tracks in 4 days with 4 producers. I like that pitch.
We we're gonna play an extract and we'll come back to it. So you
Okay.
guys, this is we're gonna play an extract of the movie and we'll be right back in.
Yeah.
All right. So very cool. Very cool. So, Hugo, can you speak? How you about the approach of creating the music for the film?
Hugo, you get the question or what?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I was watching the video on the side and I got a lag. Anyway, yes, most definitely. So for creating the music, well, it was kind of wild. So basically, we woke up at 2 a.m. from Joachim's place to get in the bus and leave, and then we arrive in Trona Pinnacles, and we're all thinking like, hey, we're gonna chill, we're gonna talk about how we're gonna go about it. And then Joachim at 7:30 a.m. Hey everyone, let's get out, set up your gear. We're going. And we're going what? We're doing what? And we just started working just right into it. And I think that was very positive to not have much time to think about it because it prevents overthinking it. And then Joachim really brought that like energy into it. So we all flowed. We picked spots on the rocks and started
Alabama Hills. There was Alabama
jamming.
Hills, not Trona Pinnacles. Just to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Alabama Hills. Yeah, Trona Pinnacles is the video we just watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did a lot of sessions outside, pretty much jamming, but multi-tracking what we were doing, and then would go back into the bus and do some edition, production, denoising, and then some overdubbing, layering, some mixing. And then we also took some work home and did some extra production back home in our individual studios.
Yeah, just to give another detail regarding the production of the music, the idea was not to produce music for the movie. We made music on tour during the trip, and then using all this music to produce the music for the movie. That was not making the music after the trip. So that was making the music during the trip. The music is really part of the trip, and then after mixing and adjusting and mastering and everything for sure, and do a special mix. And thanks to Franck for doing the Dolby Atmos mix, because that was great also to have a special Dolby Atmos to be played, and the 5.1 also. But the way of producing music was not like a regular or classical way to produce music for a movie.
Because you were while you were traveling with this van, you had the studio in the van.
Yeah.
And maybe we can show.
You have a picture maybe to show, no?
We have maybe a picture to show show it. I know you set up the equipment outside of the van. This is how it looked like.
Yeah, that was outside. You can see all the mess. Equipment.
All the cables.
That we have got very different style of music. So the game was let's bring the gear and then let's follow each other. So we are used to perform with other people, but you still need to get in tune with each other and the vibe and the rhythm. And then let's do some music together. Then we find a groove between ourselves, and then we record that, and that creates all the stems for being able to work on the mix.
But you're right. Inside, this is a recording studio, and just for people to understand, we perform outside, but also inside during the trip. Because when you traveling in a lot, like 4 or 5 hours during the day, that makes sense to use that precious 6 hours to produce music on the go. So and especially because with the solar energy, you still have sun even when you're driving. So you still have a constant energy coming in the bus. So we use this energy to produce music on the go. And that's why the recording studio is inside the bus. But let's say a part of the live session was outside because we really want to be in love with the landscape, So, but you will see in the movie, sometimes you have like a half team, 2 people working inside and 2 people are jamming outside. So that was really free, like a lot of freedom,
Yeah, and you also have like some restrictions with the elements outside because it's so hot. There's only certain times you can go and play outside. So it's going to be mostly towards the morning and the evening, and so in between, you have all this time to finish producing and come back into the bus and use the studio and the bus to produce.
How hot
solar
was
power.
it?
Hot, it was like I know in Celsius, but in Fahrenheit was like Fahrenheit was around more than 100, 110, something like that. That's why I remember the day 3 we were on the special lake called Soggy Dry Lake, and this one was very hot, and we decided to perform outside, but on the top of the mountain. So we had to climb using the buggy to climb on the mountain. So it means that it was a lot of organization and logistical thing just to be able to do like a 20-minute show. You need to go outside for 1 hour, and 1 hour was pretty long in that situation and condition. But Trovarsi, Hugo did it, and Franck did also
lots of hiking with gear, right, guys?
Yes.
I found that the was a really hot one. The air conditioning inside the bus was a little bit struggling, but other place was hot, but not.
Yeah, that was fine. It was in March. March is the best timing to enjoy sun and not be so annoying by the heat.
Yeah, it's a good constraint too because you have to move fast. You have windows to play and jam, and then you have windows to edit. And so when you're jamming, you have to create in fast. Because even there's us being in the sun and being hot, but there's also the equipment and the dust, and so you have to be mindful of all that.
Did you experience any failure? Equipment failure?
Yeah. Some cars failures.
Oh.
Failures.
Not with gear though, Joachim.
No gear.
No gear.
See, I had some problem one time because we have 2 failures. One was the last night we decided to perform like 6 or 7 or 8 hours nonstop, and we were connected on a special portable battery, and after 6 hours the battery stopped, like zoom, and then
that's right in the middle of our.
That's in the middle
I forgot about that.
Exactly. And I like this part in the movie because we are really into it. You just drop the bass drum back, and then and silence. And when you are outside during the night under the stars, if there is no music at all, you are in the complete silence. So imagine moving from 110 dB to 0 in 1 second. That was something crazy,
Yeah.
Vibe killer.
Yeah, vibe killer. But no, that was great. And also we had some problem with the heat, and the heat on my laptop. That was just before I was able to upgrade on the M1, and the previous MacBook Pro with the sun. The fan was running nonstop, and after a while, it was the CPU was starting to have some problems, especially because we made some recording, multi-track recording, so we were recording like 16 tracks nonstop under the sun, and that was a problem, So how about the gear temperature outside? Did you use fans? No fans. There is no way to get some fresh air when you are in the desert because
we put our clothes over it. Remember,
Yeah.
we had to put our jackets and stuff like that. Like anytime we had like a jacket or a sweater or something, we would just pull clothes off the RV and lay it over the top of the gear and hope it wouldn't melt.
We were missing shadows. Yeah, there is no shadow in the desert.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Hello, William. I say hello. I can see William is joining us. Pretty early for people who's watching in France, because in France it's 3 a.m., 3:25. So it's good. Good, guys.
So, Trovarsi, I wanted to ask you
Sure.
about the collaboration between the four of you, and what was the vibe in the van?
In general, or musically, or all of it?
All of it.
It was
How
fun.
long was
Like
the trip, by the way? How long were you in the van?
we were in the van for 4 nights, right? We started like well, technically 1 a.m. we started driving one day, right?
We left on Sunday and came back on Friday.
Yeah. It was a lot of joking around, a lot of just laughing, and yeah, like carrying gear, but everyone was helping, and yeah, it was very light. Like we had like 7 people crammed into this RV, so it could go a lot of different ways, especially like some of us were meeting for the first time, because we had Charles, the driver, we had 2 like a camera person and a video person, and yeah, I think that overall it was pretty light. Like we just worked together, and yeah, I don't know. Do you guys agree? Like I feel like it was a lot of joking, and
no, that was good time. We had a lot of fun.
Got better. I mean, I learned some words probably not appropriate to say online, but
no, please no. No, but we from my side, we had a lot of fun to be all together and to enjoy the situation and to share music. And you know what? Especially the last night, you just have to understand that on the last night we decided to do a special 6 hours or 8 hours nonstop of music, and then we dropped the GPS coordinated on the Instagram 2 days before and said to people, okay, if you want to join us, come to that GPS coordinated. But that was in the middle of nowhere. That was 6 hours or more than 6 hours driving from LA. And then my question say, okay, guys, you know that there is a lot of chance we're going to play only for the rocks. And Trovarsi said something great. She said, we're going to play for each other, and it's going to be good. And we had this good feeling to play each other. The surprise was to see a van coming from nowhere and having a guy in that van coming for the show, and the guy was driving from Santa Cruz.
Yep.
Yes, 8 hours drive to come for the show, and that was the only guy. He has his own show, and I love this story.
That's amazing.
That's true.
It was great. He hung out and stayed there.
And this guy's gonna be on Saturday in great area because and you know what? He didn't see the movie right now, so he's gonna discover the movie, and for sure it's part of the movie. So he's gonna see him in for the first time on Saturday. His name is Romain. So so now he has his own song in the movie. You will see Song for Romain.
It's amazing. Yeah. Great story. Yeah. Frank, can you talk about any particular moments while filming in the desert?
The get together. So the first one was interesting is moving the equipment. So the thing what was really interesting is that it's a solar bus. So everything is powered to solar. So once we are on location, there's no sound, and we had also portable batteries, so we could move anywhere we wanted and perform from there. So that was really interesting, that, and have also a videographer to do that. So on the first location, we set up in 4 locations, not too far for each other, but the videographer with the drone were moving from one location to the other. When we were in Soggy Dry Lake also, so we decided to take the buggy and then go far away. So I went into the dunes, and that was a really awesome shot. You're alone in the dune and there's really nobody. The buggy and the people hide behind the a hill, and you can
That's
see
a good one.
nobody. Also, this spot from I see on the picture from Trondheim Pinnacle, so you can be away from the bus and perform in some really cool location, and also with all this light up the hills, the mountains, and do some really awesome show. Hugo and Trovarsi also went to another location on their own, and really awesome shots in the middle of the desert, like really shows the space. And have our videographer and then drones following up and recording all that, and also recording the music. So that's really awesome. So here you see, typical setup. You see the battery on the floor, you have a speaker, and then and then your gear, and some lights. And that's really
I love this picture. I love this. This one, the one with Frank. Can you go back? This one. Can you imagine? He's just performing solo with the bukla, the battery, the headphone, and then he was working on his own set. And then after that, we have to re-record that setup in the bus. But that was a very crazy moment because he's alone. He's really alone. And you will see in the movie with the drone shot, there is nothing around, just a little point in the middle of the sound, and this point is just a guy who's playing and enjoying music.
And really hot outside.
Yep.
Yeah, there was some really magic moment, like this picture here. So you're in the desert, but you can see the snow on the mountain just in front of you. So
yeah, you're right.
It's really really magical. And I think also some of these places, you see them sometime in the Hollywood movies when they do, that's a lot of shot for location. So that was really interesting to be in this various location.
It's not a van, it is a bus. Say Lolo, you're right. It's a bus. It's not a van. That's a different size.
It's in English RRV.
Yes.
So Hugo, I think we touched base on some of the challenges that you guys faced while performing, but can you tell us more, anything we haven't covered, and how you overcame those challenges?
Let's see. We talked about a few things. Frank mentioned the sequence with Trovarsi and I when we went on top of a hill, pretty tall hill, and shot a sequence. It's beautiful. And there's nothing around, and the drones are like really far up, so you can see the mountains with us playing on top, and then nothing. It's just amazing. And just the experience of being up there, Joachim was talking about Frank getting to play in the desert on his own, and like us being up there with this view and the wind. I don't know if you remember Trovarsi, but that was pretty amazing. Like, it's one of the highlights of the trip for me.
It was beautiful. I was a little scared to be like going up, just because he was like, trust me. We're like, okay, like we trusted him. He took us like basically almost like a straight incline up over the rocks. You remember?
But with the car. With the car. That was crazy.
Yeah, with the car.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I would say like it would have been nice for us. I know we had a mission and to have this specific experience. It would have been great to be able to stay like another day or two just to
have more time.
Just to hang out. I mean, you know what I mean? We did hang out, but you guys know what I mean. Like we had an agenda, we had things that we wanted to accomplish, but it would have been nice to have like after, just or do it again maybe and just hang out.
No, but the thing, you're right, Trovarsi. I was a little bit frustrating about the time because the time was running too fast. And for example, people, they just to understand that to be able to record like 20 minutes live performance at the top of the mountain means you need 2 hours to set up, find a location, go there, plug, be ready with the drone, the good battery, the not too much wind. So at the end of the day, because the sun go down around 5 p.m. and you remember it was night at 5:30, so the day are very short. So that's why I try to wake you up in the morning, say, hey, come on, I know that's 7 a.m., but we have a lot to do, because I know how the times go fast, especially in that situation.
And it did. It went really fast.
Yes. And as a producer, I have some mission a day, a list, checklist to do.
Yes. No, like it was great. Like we were, on top of everything. I think it was just because it was so beautiful and it was such a great experience. Like I've never had an opportunity to do this before. And I enjoyed being out there with you guys. So it'd be nice to do it again. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Understood.
That's all I'll say. Like, I want to do it again.
Roger that.
All right. That's part 2 of the movie in the making.
Yeah, one thing was nice is like, Joachim is used to produce. So, you see him at play and, people don't see necessarily they see the 20 minutes of music or the 1 hour music of the concert, but they don't see what's happening behind the scene to get to, just 1 hour. Like, there's 40 minutes on the movie, and that took us like 5 days to do, and see Joachim doing the production. And I learned a lot on production, and also when we were mixing inside the bus and working the track, also see how everybody is working behind the scene and how they produce. It's really interesting.
No, but you're right. Maybe we try to do something special. That was the first time I decided to do 4 different locations in 4 days. So we were really in the rush, because when you have like 5 hours between 2 locations, the days are consuming so fast. So I understand. Maybe next time I have to organize better and to be more relaxed on the schedule, and say 2 days per location, and maybe do only 3 locations and do 1 week. It's a good deal. Maybe Trovarsi. Maybe we can find a solution around that.
Also, it was the first time for us, so we
right.
We were all figuring out like what to expect and like what I'm sure that with the perspective of having done it once already, we would be able to manage time in a way where it's not like surprise after surprise, but more like, oh, I know exactly what to expect. Now it's downtime and we're about to jump into something. So I think also it was just because it's so much, like you have novelty left and right. You're playing with people you've never played before. You are in a new environment every day. So even if you get settled in midday, the following day you're starting fresh. And then you are you're not playing in your studio, you're playing outside and not even a venue. So it's not set up to receive you at all. Right. It's actually set up to not receive you. Like it's meant to not receive humans pretty much. So this part of the challenge is very interesting. And I think Trovarsi or Joachim was saying that we took the buggy up the hill when we shot that shot with Trovarsi, and that is a tool that really helped us. You can see it here. It's a 4-seater. Really helped us carry equipment, because even when on shots that seem close to the bus,
it's pretty
holding the equipment all the way to a location, even if it seems like it's a few blocks away. It's actually really hard, because you have the heat, you have a lot of round trips to make, because there's cables, there's stands, there's synths, there's laptops. So you need the buggy. You really need it to get the location. So that was one challenge that we felt, besides time.
Maybe the buggy we just rent it and get in on the trailer and just behind the bus. It's the way we are just driving all together with the trailer non-stop for 5 days, and during all the trip from LA, all the trip, and then back to LA, like a big loop.
I'm going to play an extract of the movie where you perform, and then Joachim, we're going to talk about the music.
Okay, cool. Let's see this.
That's the extract you were talking about.
Exactly. That's the moment.
I forgot about that.
But my question is, how did you approach live performance and the process of, you touch base, but really let's encapsulate how you approach the performance, the production, and the film.
I think everything was done in the same time, and that was the first time. I was pretty in the rush for that because we decided to do the production of the movie, do the production of tracks, do creating some tracks, remixing tracks, and everything have to be done during the slot of the trip, because one of the idea behind this trip is to produce 100% music powered by the sun. So it means that when we start to every minute was used to produce element. So when we done with the recording station on multitrack, after that we jump in the bus and starting to produce and to separate tracks and to starting to produce the song, because we know that we're going to need music for the movies. So that was I think the organization was pretty good. That was pretty intense because delivered 4 tracks, and the good news it's the album going to be released on the 17th, so in 5 days. The album with 4 original songs produced during this trip going to be released on the Track Club. I'm right, Hugo? Huh?
Yeah, Track Club, but it's actually 5 songs because we have an extra mix. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Sorry, there is 4 original and there is 2 mixes on the track one. So there is 5 songs on the playlist, and it's going to be available on the 17th January 17th. So yeah, so happy about that, to be able to produce music and also to get good shoot. And to be really honest with you, until the end, I was not sure we're gonna have enough material to do a movie, because having only people turning knobs and connecting cable and making some strange music, I was just afraid about the whole content and to find a story, But by luck, we had some problems, and the problems was helping to get the story built at the end. And then that's why I'm happy to have this 40 minutes documentary long, because there is a real story from A to Z, and there is a really you can see the evolution in the trip. And even around minute 35, this is close to the end, you can feel that this is the end. This is a little sadness in the atmospheres, and this is the last day on Big Bear. And I like the emotional way of watching this movie. This is not only a techno talking about techno music. This is really a really movie around the trip, and also around the friendship between the 4 producers who start to make music together, because that was the first time we were able to produce music and performing live together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's very special as a movie, I think, because it's a musical documentary, but it also involves nature and adventure, which is usually rare with that setting. But also, I think what's very special about it is that it's not a movie for musicians. Like you'll see a lot of things. If you're a musician, you'll catch a lot of things. But our hope was really to make something that, whether you make music or not, you feel like you spent those 4 days with us in the bus, and you went on those mountains with us, and you had those challenges with us, and you had fun with us, just as if you were in adventure. And I think that's one of the elements that I'm the most proud of, is that anyone, no matter what situation they're in, can join and experience that with us. And that was important.
You're right. So no, man. So I'm happy to share this movie with people, and on Saturday in Gray area, that's going to be the perfect location, because we were looking for a location with a theater, but also to be able to make people dancing and to perform and also to play music. So having a location for theater, for watching a movie, for having quadrophony set up for Franck, and doing some different music with Hugo, Trovarsi, and I, the gray area was the good location. And even if there is a bad weather, because we all know that this is not the perfect weather right now, we just encourage everybody to come to see the movie and then to have fun with us.
The best way to stay away from the rain.
Exact.
The
Yes.
Gray Area Theater in San Francisco is an iconic theater in the Mission District. Great restaurants around. So I put the information below. Modular California Vibes. You've seen some extracts tonight, but it will be premiering at the Gray Area in San Francisco this Saturday, January 14 at 7:30 Pacific time. Not only will be the movie, but you guys are going to perform. How much time you're going to perform, each one of you?
It's going to be around the 30 to 45 minutes each.
Mhm.
And so, it's what we have in mind right now. Then, because we want to do the raffle at midnight, and I'm play last. Maybe I'm gonna be the one to shorter my time setup, because I want to be on time and to do the raffle at midnight. So let's say
that's a raffle.
Yeah, that's a raffle to for the giveaways. The 4,200. Yes, that you see right now on the screen. So so it's around, let's say, around the 30 minutes each. And between each setup, each performance, we will need like 2, 3, 5 minutes maximum to do the change. I think we're good. I think we did it already a few months ago at Cineplex in LA, and that was not the same thing, because the movie was not on the big screen. That was a different way. But right now, this is the first time we're gonna do like a real premiere, and that's why we are excited to do this in SF, which is the capital city of the electronic music. No, I'm wrong or what?
It is. It is.
Come on.
It is. It's a great town for electronic music.
Yeah, electronic music was started in SF also, with you had at Berkeley with Buchla, and Stanford with Karma and Dave Smith, and you got a lot of manufacturers here. And the San Francisco Tape Music Center, that was the first pioneer of electronic experimental music.
I dropped the link in the chat, because I see Arnaud ask where we can find the ticket. So just click over here. Okay,
yeah.
guys.
Thank you, Joachim. Thank you for dropping.
You got it.
Grayarea.org, and then you'll find
it. But I've dropped the direct link. It's better. And talking about, I just want to add something very quick. Talking about the SF and San Francisco historical point of view regarding electronic music, I'm gonna do a special show on Saturday, including some video from the past. And those movie video from the past are some iconic part of Bob Moog explain what's, for example, is a synthesizer. So I've sampled those part of the movie. I shot that thing. I just sampled this. I drop it and grid it to be on the grid, and then I'm able to play it on the beat. And so that's great, because you have a huge kick drum, like boom, boom, and you have like Bob Moog playing da-da-dun, 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 and this is on the beat, So you will see this. I'm very happy, very excited to do that for the first time in SF on Saturday.
We get a bit of a preview of what's happening on Saturday. So we have a few more minutes before we wrap this up, and this is a question I ask every time we're interviewed. There's a couple of things I love to ask when we have artists is well, first we're talking about electronic music, and there's the music and then there's the gear, and I love to ask the same question for everybody is can you speak about your favorite gear or software that you liked or you use on the road during filming the movie?
Okay, so I can show what it's pretty easy for me, because I have everything already. So it's on the camera numéro 888 on this one. Yeah, so the Moog, the Sub 37 sequential was with me nonstop. This is the best bass synthesizer for me to playing bass line, and I really love this synth. And I have but I was not able to bring it because the Percon was not released, but now is released. So let's say if I have to choose two of them, and if we're going to do a Modular California Vibe Volume 2, it's going to be Percon and Moog. That's it for me. Trovarsi?
For me, well, I brought my modular case, which is a 94 14U case that I actually designed with another artist. And so that's like essential for me. I always have that case. And in there, one of the main pieces, which we actually used as well, was the WMD performance mixer, because it has that DB25. So it helped us to be able to multi-track some tracks. And my sequencer, I always use the vector sequencer because it's so deep, but it's simple to use at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like I love using it to sequence melodies, but yeah, the case is definitely, I mean, obviously the modules that go in it, but the case is a big thing for me because it's easier for me to carry. I know that climbing those mountains, thank you again, Hugo, for helping me because he was really helping me carry that. But yeah, that case is just, it's meant to travel, you know, even though it's a modular case, it can fit in an overhead. It's easy to tote. It's not long and overwhelming, but yet it can pack a lot of modules in it, being that it's 14U. Yeah.
Frank?
Yeah, so you see on the picture, I also brought some small Moog subharmonicum, and what was it? What's the name on it?
The two Moogs.
And also my case. So I've got a Aurora case, and as I do quadraphonic, so there's not too many module quadraphonic, and I'm very grateful that Shakmat is making some quadraphonic modules, and that's what's the heart of my system. And also there's a local manufacturer, New System Instrument, who has made some very interesting oscillators and CV controllers, and is really taking a different approach. And also he has got one quadraphonic module, which is, I don't know, the quadraphonic equivalent of a mid-side, and that's also really interesting. So I specialize. I like to make the sound move, from one speaker to the other. Even when I was stereo only, I like to move the sound and make an environment. So that's the interesting part that I had with my system, and being able to add this dimension in the creation, to be able to specialize the sound and place it in different location. Not having necessarily to EQ the sound so they don't overlap each other. Here you can leave the sound as it is because they will be in different place. And working with everybody and also trying to find the vibe. I was mainly doing finding my spot, like doing texture in all the melodic and bass line. So working on that.
And the 4 speakers.
Yes, I brought the 4 speakers too.
Yeah,
I'm crazy because I say I'm bringing my 4 speakers. Why do you need 4 speakers? I'm bringing my 4 speakers.
That was great. And Hugo?
Yeah. So for me, I have a modular background too, like Trovarsi and Franck, with designing the Swan and playing modular for I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. I forgot, lost track. Anyway, but I brought the modular for sure, and I played the Swan. You can see here my 2 rows of Eurorack, and it's a 4MS case that I modified for traveling, for touring. But I also have been really drawn to instruments that are more deterministic, where you can actually play an interface. So having the Novation Summit really made a difference for me, because it has a keyboard, and it's a super powerful sound engine. So I could actually perform with it, and that was really helpful in giving me the fluidity I needed to adjust to my teammates, to what they would play, because modular can be nice when you play on your own, but a bit trickier when you play with other people. And so with the keyboard, I could really just react if there was a change of key, or just try to bring a different atmosphere. That gave me this flexibility. And then I could rely on Franck, for example, to bring all the sound design and texture in quad around, or rely on Joachim to bring the beat with his Torres drum machine, or Trovarsi to bring some bass line, some acid bass line, or stuff like that. So I think that it's more than a piece of gear that would stand on its own. It's really how we complemented each other that makes it key in this project. And for me, it was also playability. So yeah, the Summit. And then I used some software too on the bus. I used the Isotope, RX,
definitely,
to denoise some of our takes, both vocal and music, and also Neutron for mixing, and Ozone. The album was mastered in Ozone.
Master going to be released Jan 17th.
Yep. All platforms.
All platforms, right. Yeah. And
that software was so handy because remember when we did the interviews and it was so windy.
Yeah, remember that.
So yeah, it definitely came in handy for us for that.
The thing what was nice also is that we knew each other's, but we became friends and we started to know each other's personalities, and being also in the environment. That's all this feeling that you can't quantify music. So you can talk about technicalities, but that feelings getting together and then being able to express it in the music, that's something that's what creates magic music.
Franck, as you were spending more time together, did you feel like a more the vibe changing, the way you all collaborated and interacted, and that translated into the music you were playing?
Yes, there was a bit of that. I think for me in the beginning, I was a little bit, I don't know, scared or not knowing fully my place, because I understand
less techno music.
Less techno. I listen to it, but I don't have like a formal music background, so I understand chords, I understand scale, but I don't know to practice it. And they were here, and then they say, okay, let's play in the scale of C and C minor, and okay, what's that? I need to listen to it, and then I'll turn the knobs, and then I'll get there. And that was really hard to get, very quickly into the song. You've got 5 minutes, do something. It takes me like about 30 minutes to listen to something and find the right settings to get there. And that was really challenging. And then by the end of the trip, everybody was helping me. Everybody was helping me, and I found my place, I found my groove.
No. Franck, he have a very special scale. That's this Franck scale. It's something unique. It's special notes and special frequency, and you try to adjust one, but you.
It will alter your mind. It's just like
yes. So yeah, sometime we there was something special to have Franck join us, especially when we were more in the classical way of producing music, and Franck was there, and that was great because having him doing some texture also helped us to go in the different direction, the global thing. So I hope that people gonna see this in the movie also, to see that sharing music is sharing, is really mixing those two music. There is something new coming from that mix, and I like the fact of merging different inputs, and especially having people like Franck Trovarsi or Hugo on board of a good vibe. That was great,
So we're coming to an end, and I really appreciate you guys spending the hour with us. Really appreciate.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, this is great. So Joachim, I think we drop. Wanted to talk. I wanted to ask you. That's another question before I wrap up. I love to ask people what they listen to right now. So anyone wants to go? I know Franck shared with me a playlist. There is actually on Spotify a playlist, but if you can talk a bit more about it, there is actually a hashtag Modular California Vibes playlist on Spotify. You guys, if you use Spotify, make sure you subscribe. But what is this music?
The first track, I know the first track, The World Is Mine, was a track I produced with David Guetta, but this is back in 2003, I believe. That was 20 years ago, no? So I don't remember. I remember that track, yes. But let's say it's very pop compared to what we are produced in the desert. So, but that's a great way of people to understand where I come from.
Yes, the game was to give a sample of everyone music, so you can go
but
there.
I released the 6th album since that day, but that's cool. That's okay.
And also, for me, when I'm listening, I've got also another playlist on Spotify, which is all modular synthesizer with a ton of friends that do modular synthesizer all over the world. And so if you're interested in modular synthesizer music, go Modular California Vibes, and then from there you can jump to the other playlist that I have on modular synthesizer. And,
so
and
just
it's wide variety, from noise to techno.
Just say thanks to Dr. Brandy and Nunez. Congratulations on the movie, everyone, and the Beowulf music. That's great. Thanks, guys. And Hugo, what are you listening to?
What am I listening to? Well, I'm listening to a lot of my own music, and it's not for being narcissistic, but it's because I'm working on a new album for next year. So I'm listening to it a lot and trying to finish it. Yeah. But when I'm done, I like to go back to the playlist that Franck put together for us. Those are great.
When I'm done, I like to listen to Trovarsi stuff live. When she's doing her live, I like that. This is like half an hour, and I like that.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
No, really, for real, I like that. Great. So, Trovarsi, what are you listening to? You are the last one to answer.
In general, I guess. Well, I've always been big into techno, but I love house music too, and I've been listening to a lot of house and deep house lately. So, some of my live productions have been kind of leaning into that too. So, one label I've been kind of listening to was Shall Not Fade. They have some,
That's cool.
like Felipe Gordon and things like that. Yeah, but I listen to everything, I listen to classical, I listen to jazz, I listen to techno and house and all of it. And yeah, the playlist is a nice array of sounds, especially. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, guys. So don't we have to give some tickets now?
We can give away some tickets, or maybe we can do offline to people register, whatever, anyone.
It's your show. It's your show. You decide.
Anyone is in San Francisco, because one of the conditions is to be in San Francisco on Saturday.
Yeah.
Anyone is in San Francisco right now? Drop a 1 if you're in San Francisco.
So we have some guy from Marabout from. Okay, thank you.
Anyone from San Francisco? 1, 2, 3. I know there's a bit of delay.
Beowulf music sounds like somebody.
He's actually in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Right.
All that's gone. Well, all that's gone. Maybe you want to go see the movie on Saturday?
Yeah.
All that gone is in San Francisco.
All that gone is in San Francisco. Okay, so 2 tickets for All That Guns.
All That's Gone. If you are in San Francisco, you get 2 tickets for the show on Saturday.
Yeah, good.
Oh, there's one more too.
I know Marcel. All right, so 1 each. Why don't we do 1 each?
No. Let's do. Let's do 2 and 2. Allez, we can.
All right, 2 and 2. All right, Marcel. All That's Gone. You're the winner of 2 tickets.
Bravo, Marcel.
Congratulations. You guys hit me up and I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Make sure you email me your contact info that you want 2 tickets to the show on Saturday. And for everybody else, if you want to register, feel free to use
the 20% code of
20% off,
20.
which is great. So a reminder that we all 4, Joachim, Hugo, Trovarsi, and Franck, will be at the Gray Area Theater on Saturday night January 14 at 7:30 to premiere the movie that we talk about tonight. Plus, each one of them will do a performance, and around midnight there will be an amazing giveaway of gear and software. So make sure you come and hang. And you guys, thank you so much for the time today. It was great to have you.
Thank you,
Thank
Louis.
you.
And at the gray area, we'll be in the crowd, so come and say hi. Don't be shy.
Yeah, and come
Yes.
say hi.
Yeah,
So
please say hello.
come say hello. And on that, thank you everyone for tuning in, and see you next time.
Thank you, Loic. Thanks.
Bye,
Have a good
guys.
one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.